What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Monday Gunday. Today on episode 7 we are going to be going over the Staccato 2011, in particular the Staccato P Duo. You'll notice this one's going to be a little bit different because we're actually running a dot on this one. It's just what we had in the shop, so we figured why not. So it'll affect the score just a little bit, but not as much as you think. So STI, the name before they changed to Staccato, was founded in 1980. It was a bunch of custom gun makers that eventually started doing custom modifications to 1911s to make them more competition friendly or effective in competition. In 1993, they started developing a model that had a little bit higher capacity, better ergonomics, a polymer frame, and that would eventually become the 2011. So the 2011 revolutionized the competition world with better ergonomics, better capacity, better weight, less recoil, a lot better accuracy. Until about 4 years ago, competition was the main focus of the 2011. So a dude by the name of Buck Pearson, who was the VP of, I think, the Vice President of Law Enforcement and Military at Staccato. Pearson is a retired infantry Marine, and his arrival at Staccato kind of pioneered the road for the use of 2011s in law enforcement. He started by making a lot of changes to the production and the R&D team. One of the first things he did was ask how many law enforcement agencies were fielding the 2011, and obviously the answer was none. So Pearson started setting up meetings, kind of range days with law enforcement agencies. The two first ones that he did were U.S. Marshals Special Operations Group and the Long Beach Department SWAT. And after shooting with them, they all decided pretty much in one day that this gun was awesome. They liked how it shot, the accuracy, the ergonomics, the reliability. So after those guys adopted it, it was kind of a domino effect. A ton of law enforcement agencies started adopting the 2011. In February 2021, Staccato announced the company milestone that more than 280 law enforcement agencies adopted the Staccato. So today, that number is nearly 700 law enforcement agencies, including, let me look here, Texas Rangers, Los Angeles Police Departments, Las Vegas Metro Police Department, and LA County Sheriffs. So what really changed the game for these guys was the level of reliability and accuracy that you get out of the 2011. So with that brief little history, let's head out to the range and see what we think of the 2011. What's up guys, we are here at the range with the Staccato P. We're gonna run through our 3 drills, the 2 build drills, the 3R3, and then run back to 10 yards and do the B8. So don't get mad at my skill with this gun. I've done a few reps with it, but I'm not very good at shooting 2011s. So let's see how I do. All right, gonna start with the build drills at 7 yards. Here we go. That was a 235 clean. Got another one. The 218. Surprised myself a little there. Those are very clean. Let's go look at those hits real quick. Really my only issue with the 2011s is the safety and that backstrap beaver tail safety. But once I get the safety off, the trigger is fantastic. The recoil is super soft, so it's very controllable. So let's try the 3R3. This one's gonna be a little bit different because that slide release is kind of hard to get to for some people. Download the mag so we can try and get slide lock. See what we can do. A 464, so not terrible. Managed to snag that slide release decent with the support hand thumb. One. Try another one. The 517, a little bit slower. Kind of missed that slide release. Not really used to that, but still really clean. I couldn't find my dot on that one because we're running an RMR. First time running a dot Monday Gunday. Just figured we'd try it out because this is technically the Duo, isn't it? Staccato P Duo. So probably throw a dot on there. But yeah, very clean. Once you get that dot on there, it's very easy to control. It's a heavier gun. Fantastic trigger, recoil impulse is very nice. So let's see how we do on the accuracy test at 10 yards. All right, we got the B8 set up. We're gonna run back to 10 yards and test the accuracy. This is gonna be a little bit different accuracy test where we have a dot on here, so it's really gonna be testing my accuracy and the gun's accuracy. So really expecting 100. If it's not 100, it's probably because I messed up. All right, here we go. All right, there's 10 rounds. Let's go check that. So that's exactly what I wanted. A little flyer, still 100, but with a good dot on a 2011, you really have no excuse to be inaccurate. That's one thing that they're known for, is fantastic trigger and really, really good accuracy. So let's take it back to the armory and tally up our score. All right, guys, we're back from the range. We shot the 2011. I like it a lot. I think it's a super dope gun, but let's get into our scoring system. So we're gonna go over 10 categories, all worth 10 points each, and come up with a score out of 100. All right, so starting off with cost. Obviously, 2011s are very expensive. They have higher tolerances, higher quality materials, so you're gonna pay for it. So it doesn't score very well in that aspect of our scoring system. We gave it a 4, but we think that's fair considering how much they are. A Staccato P will run you anywhere from $2,500 to $3,000 depending on the model. You can get them used for around $2,000 to $2,200, but expect to pay around $2,500 to get just your normal 4 to 5 inch Staccato P. This is the Duo, so it comes optic ready with a couple different optic plates. So ergonomics, I gave it a 6. They do have really good ergonomics, but they do take some getting used to if you're coming from a striker fired pistol. They can't really compromise much around the grip to give like palm swells and stuff. Other companies do, like Atlas. They have machining spots into them where you can add like palm swells and kind of the fatter back straps. But with the grip safety, you're gonna lose a little bit of that comfort. It's not terrible. You definitely get used to it really fast, but it's not as good as like when you get into like the M&Ps and stuff like that. So I gave it a 6. Moving on to trigger, I gave it a 10 for obvious reasons. It's probably the best handgun trigger you can get out there because it's hammer fired. They can make the reset just crazy fast, a super clean break. Whoop, got the safety on. But yeah, just a super clean break, crazy reset, and you can tune the crap out of them to be kind of dangerous, honestly. But you can shoot extremely fast and extremely accuracy. So obviously we gave it a 10 on the trigger. So next is bore axis. It's not terrible. I gave it a 7. There's obviously lower bore axis guns, but being that it's a 1911, 2011, it's gonna be a little bit higher just based on the mechanics of the gun and how their firing mechanism works. So it's not terrible, but definitely not the best. So we went with a 7. Sights. So we obviously ran a dot on this one because that's what we had available. We didn't want to take it off. But I've shot a lot of 2011s and a lot of Staccatos, and they all come with fantastic sights. This one in particular has suppressor height sights, has a good fiber optic in the front, a nice blacked out rear with the kind of jimping cut into them, the lines. They're very accurate. They're easy to see. They're easy to pick up. You can shoot lights out with them. So for sights, I gave it an 8. Next is aftermarket support. I also gave it an 8. There's a lot of really cool things you can buy for 2011s. It's not quite up there with Glocks and stuff like that and M&Ps, but there's lots of companies that are doing super nice frames. There's lots of companies that are doing comps, ports, slide cuts, pretty much everything you can get for everything else you can get for a 2011. So aftermarket support, we gave it an 8. Capacity, I gave it a 9. You can hold a lot in 2011 mags. You can get just slide extensions and hold 20 rounds. This one is a 17 rounder, but their capacity is great for, you don't really compromise a ton on size for the capacity. So I gave the capacity a 9. You can argue with me in the comments, but I think their capacity is awesome. Serviceability, I gave it a 7. It is just about toolless, and if you guys have taken apart a 1911 or a 2011, you know it's a little bit more complicated than a striker fire. So it's not super user-friendly to field strip and to clean, but it's not impossible to field strip. So we gave it a 7. So value, this one took a little thinking for me because it's obviously it's an expensive gun, but considering the value, you're getting a lot for it. It's a very, very high quality, very well-made handgun. You're getting really nice materials, super good machining, a lot of engineering stuff goes into these. They're a high quality gun, but they're still expensive. I'm not sure, it depends on what you get. I think you only get 1 or 2 magazines when you buy a Staccato. It comes in a nice nylon zip-up case that you'll actually use because you want to keep a gun like this in a nice case. So a lot of people that I've seen still use the cases that it comes with. So that's a good plus. I ended up giving it a 7 just because it's still a really high quality gun and you're gonna pay for that. You're getting the value out of your money, but it's still really expensive. So it's not a super high value, but I still think it's a good value. And ending with cool factor, this one's completely subject to me. So you can argue in the comments, but I don't really care. I gave it a 9 on cool factor. I think 2011s are super cool. I don't carry one just because there are a few reliability issues that come with the tighter tolerances. That's not saying they aren't reliable. They're extremely reliable, but there's just a few more things that can take away from the reliability. But as far as cool factor, I think 2011s are very aesthetic. They look awesome. When you throw an X300 on there with an RMR or an SRO, I think they look really, really cool. So I ended up giving it a 9 on the cool factor. They shoot great, they're super accurate, and they look really, really good. So that brings the Staccato P to a 75 out of 100. I'll put it in the standings up here on our scoreboard because I can't quite remember where that would place. But I think that's a decent score, thinking about our past ones that we've reviewed. Let us know in the comments if you think this pistol should have scored higher or lower and what pistol you want to see us do next. Until next time, guys, we'll see you later.